people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people, and maybe say it's not a good thing.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
You'll finally get the attention you deserve.
RandomCast, show them what you do.
What the hell? What the hell happened? What the hell, Verizon? I was enjoying that, as I'm sure you guys were as well. Poor Hypnotic. What the hell happened, man? The same thing happened to me last night with my internet provider, except actually it totally bricked for me, so I was really not happy at all. I actually didn't get to even finish the stream. I got dipped out immediately, thanks to PLDT, the Philippine internet company that I am using, and then I see the same damn thing. What is this, a war on based YouTubers or something? Madness. Anyway, I feel kind of bad for you guys because, you know, you were enjoying that. I was enjoying that. And figured you deserve another hour of entertainment, so I figured I'll try and go live and find something to talk about. I was about to make videos, just prepping for them, and then I thought, well, guess I can talk about some of this stuff live, you know, see what's up with you guys. Okay, who we got? I can see, hey, Problematic White Guy's here. Nice. Bigger Army Raid, of course, from Lady Death is here. Mike, yeah, 17, hail. The Black Wizards, Yamato 85, T-Jap Steve, of course, one of my mods, and Hypnos as well. Who else? Zalosi, hello. Well, hey folks, I don't know how well this is going to go because obviously Hypno's audience is like 8 times the size of mine, but I am here if anybody wants to drop in as a refugee of Hypnocast and talk some smack about other things that are going on. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on lately. I'm wondering if there is something going on with these internet companies, because it just seems like a lot of people have had internet issues lately. People in England have had internet issues. Obviously this has happened, and what happened to me last night as well. Maybe we should all just get Starlink. It doesn't seem to go down ever. Not that I know. Love the title, lol. What did I call it again? It was some auto recommended thing, I think. Oh no, yeah, Verizon's a shocking move against Hypnocast. Yeah. It just seemed like some clickbait rubbish. So and also it would probably help get into the algorithm, so people looking for Hypnocast will find this. So here we are, trying to fill in for Hypnotic while he presumably tears Verizon a new one and is going to call them all racist, which is probably fair. He can play that card. I can't. Too white for that. And also it wouldn't work if I was in the Philippines anyway doing it. Right, I'm just trying to share this out a little bit so people know what the hell's going on. There's definitely crossover between two audiences. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we both stream together. I'm on SNH and stuff, so yeah, we have a lot of the same people, and that's great. We'll just hope that more people can find out that we're doing this. I don't have anything prepared in particular. Just stuff I was going to talk about in videos, like the fact that Ubisoft is on strike. That's something I was going to talk about. or the fact that Alyssa Mercante seems to be actually telling people, hey, go ahead and make videos about me, even sarcastically. So I guess we can talk about those things, or Asmongold. Let me know. What do you guys want to talk about? This is a last second emergency random cast to pick up the slack for Verizon nuking Hypnocast. So we'll do that. We can have a bit of fun. I don't normally stream at this time, so I'm probably going to have some different people in here. Verizon can suck a dead one, though, because I don't know what the hell they're doing. Mercante said she's ready to destroy the chat. Mercante is, I don't know what's going on with this woman. She is as unhinged as it's possible to be. She's a complete imbecile. She cannot read the room. She has been doing this for months now, and she doesn't seem to know it's time to just give up. You've lost. Every single move she makes is an embarrassment. Every single thing she does ends up backfiring on her, and it just ends up making her look ridiculous. All right, let's see what Smash JT's written about it then, because I missed this. But since we're here and we're doing it live anyway, this will be a good opportunity for me to catch up with the situation. Obviously, Smash JT wrote this article a couple of days ago, my time, so maybe that's yesterday for you guys in the States. Apparently, she's officially endorsing more videos about her. Well, it would be about time. Maybe she's being advised to steer into the crash. I mean, I think there's obviously going to be some veiled malevolence about this, because she's, you know, she's not actually got it in her to, in earnest, what's the word, advocate for the YouTubers who make videos about her. What's that, Sanguine Tales? It's not just Hypno. A friend of mine is trying to stream now and can't even launch it. He's on Verizon. So Verizon's having a major outage. I mean, let's see what's going on with Verizon. Perhaps we can now this might not work because I haven't got my VPN on and I'm in the Philippines. So let's just see. I don't have obviously any idea where Hypnotic is in the States, so I can't really use an address, but I guess I can sort of put vaguely Eastern time zones, and maybe we'll be able to figure out what the hell is going on with Verizon. Just give me a moment here, because apparently my location has popped up on the screen. One sec. I'll see if I can find anything worth reporting on regarding Verizon. It's not coming up with anything. No, it's too early. There'll probably be some hotspots appearing on a map later to tell you where exactly the service has gone down, but it's probably all over the place. Where's your friend, Sanguine? East Coast as well, yeah? All right, well, I guess that is just what's happening then. The East Coast, at the very least, of Verizon has crapped out, and that screwed Hypnocast. So, yes, TJAP Steve as well. This is off smashjt.com. You can find this article if you'd like to read it yourself, but I'm going to have a look at it as well because I was planning to make a video about it. So I guess I'll get some practice in with you guys, see what's going on, see how I feel. A bit of an old live reaction, keep you going for the next, well, I don't know, about 50 or so minutes before I have to get on with other things, and try to give you guys some kind of compensation for the fact that Hypnocast got nuked by Verizon's complete and total fucking incompetence. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I understand when that kind of thing happens where I live, because technically it's the third world, but East Coast America should not be having this kind of issue. I don't want to use the current year argument because it's fucking cringe, but the year kind of current year, it's 2024. What the hell are you doing? We've had this technology for like 30 years now. Really ought to be able to provide robust internet to people who are using it for their career. You know, it's extremely frustrating. It was very frustrating for me last night as well when my stream got completely I got nuked. The stream was fine. You know, I ended up having to actually leave my house because where I am actually has pretty terrible phone signal, but my Wi-Fi is usually extremely fast. Like 300, 400, 500 meg for the third world, again, is very fast. So I had to leave the house and walk halfway up the street towards the main road to be able to get a phone signal decent enough to get back into the stream using my phone so that I could deactivate it. Fortunately, Ryan was able to read the super chats and various things like that. So that was a bit of a relief for me, because I really didn't like the idea that people had spent money for me to read stuff out and I couldn't. And it fucking pisses me off, man. I hate it when customers get treated badly at the best of times. When they're my, audience, I feel absolutely wretched about that. So I can only imagine how utterly furious Hypnotic is right now. He's probably going to message our little organized chat that we have. But in the meantime, let's see what Macante's doing, because here we are, and we have plenty of things. Thank you for the great title. Yeah, I just typed in a few words, and then actually my my little YouTube assistant thing that I have, vidIQ, recommended that. So I thought, actually, yeah, that's hilarious. I'll go with that. Yeah. Verizon's conspiracy against independent-based YouTubers. It's obviously an attempt to destabilize Trump supporters before the election. It's obviously what it is. I'm not at all being hyperbolic, facetious, or otherwise ludicrous. My audio is out of sync with my face. What the hell? Hang on. Let me see if I can. Hang on. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Usually I have a second window so I can actually see the stream. If not, I'll just go off camera. And oh, for God's sake, is my internet about to shit the bed too? Let's have a look. Okay, hold on. No, I'm fine. I have no idea why I'd be out of sync. Just must be because I think Donald Trump is a nice man. But there you go. Anyway, good. Okay, glad to hear it. Thank you. So, yeah, that was going quite well. I don't know what the heck was going on with that Unknown 9 rubbish, but or actually, I don't even know what the deal is with that video that he was watching. If you guys have a link to it, or you know where he was watching it from, I can watch the rest of it. Or we can talk about Alyssa. But yeah, in the meantime, fuck Verizon. Sucks to be Hypno. Alyssa Macante officially endorses more videos about her. Okay, you want me to try and find the Unknown 9 video on Twitter? Let me see if there's. Boy, this is so professional right now, guys. I am not at all flying by the seat of my pants. I always like to joke that WTF Live is an extremely unprofessional show, but but in fact, I'm trying to find this now. But in fact, this is what it's like when I have nothing prepared. Just literally make a stream, flip on the microphone, and wing it. Let's see. Maybe I can find it. Is she a narcissist? She wants all the attention on herself. Yeah. I don't know where he got this from. I can't seem to find it. Oh, well, whatever. Let's just read this. I gotta find something to do to entertain you fine people. So anyway, yeah, Alyssa Macante apparently has officially endorsed the community's videos, and yes, Woozy Polar Bear, she absolutely is a narcissist. That is exactly what she is. She is someone who, if there is even the most scant possibility, she is gonna make it all about her. That's what she does. She has effectively turned Gamergate in her own mind into the Alyssa Macante show, where absolutely everything is about her. We're all here because we just want to harass her. Actually, doesn't make any sense when you think about it. Like, actually think about it. Why would so many of us just be going out of our way to harass one woman on the internet if she wasn't doing some really, really dumbass stuff? And by the way, we're not fucking harassing her in the first place. But yeah, you know what I mean? She's going, hey, this Gamergate thing, it seems to be all about me. All these people just want to harass me. And it's like, well, you know, you did lie. You attempted to invade Sweet Baby Inc. detected Discord group. You asked people to dox themselves, give you their names and stuff for 5 seconds of fame in a Kotaku article that would have disappeared into the ether in a few seconds after it was first published, because nobody goes to bloody Kotaku anymore because they have no journalistic integrity. Case in point, hello, Alyssa. She is the Dr. Robotnik of the bigger army. There you go. Will of the Fans. She always has a Saturday morning cartoon scheme up her ass that fails every time. It is a bit like that, isn't it? She comes out with these fucking ideas like, oh, I'm going to send a cease and desist letter, but she's never prepared that we know things too. Like sending that C&D to Smash JT or to Kiwi Farms. It was never going to work because she has no case. Of course she has no case. Everything that we say about her is based on evidence, screenshots, things she's written, tweets, everything she does, and we make damn sure to screenshot every last freaking one of them the second we find them, because she's so delete happy and of course has loads of people blocked. So the second she does or says anything, it gets put into my folder, presumably Smash JT's and probably Hypnotics folders. We must have folders about this woman because she's extremely litigious, because she's a fucking narcissist. I don't know what happened to her. She used to be a normal person. She used to sit and make YouTube videos on a very, very small channel. And she just used to talk about games, like kind of like what everybody was doing 10 years ago when we all thought that we could become, you know, like Peanut Butter Gamer or people like that. They're like, hey guys, well, I'm going to play this game today and la 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 la, you know, whatever. It's a more naive time. Of course, that was also just around about the time that Gamergate started. And now pretty much everybody's had to wake up and become extremely savvy because, people like her seem to have been radicalized. Now, I don't know if somebody abused her, or I don't know if it's like a boyfriend or a family member or something did something horrible to her, but she is an incredibly embittered little madam. She went to uni, yes. She went to uni in my country. She went to Newcastle, which is fine. Newcastle's an okay sort of town, I suppose. That's a city, actually. But, yeah. I guess while she was there, she got radicalized by the Marxist professors. I remember I went to university twice, never finished the first year either time. I owed tens of thousands to the government of the UK that they're never getting back because why should I pay them? I never got an education. This is one of the reasons why I never stuck at it. I got there, I found absolutely nothing of value for the money I was paying. Like, I go to a lecture, the guy tells me some shit, gives you a book to read. It's like, where's the tuition? You're not actually teaching me anything. I could just learn all the same stuff by living with someone who goes to this course and reading their books. That would be basically the same, except I don't get a degree at the end of it. And then, of course, I realized that all the things that I was being given to read were Marxist philosophers. You've got people like Derrida, Foucault, McLuhan. These people are supposed to be like media experts and personalities, but in effect, all they actually do is talk about globalization, collectivism, and things like that. So, yeah, it's not surprising to me that someone like Alyssa McCante would then go to university and come out as a raging feminist, tattooed, pierced. I don't know why these women want to make themselves uglier and uglier and uglier as they possibly can. You got more engagement for watching Jordan Peterson videos, Genty Maxi. Yes, absolutely. That's because you can tell that Jordan Peterson, whatever you think about him in terms of his sort of on-screen persona, genuinely cares about the people that he is talking to. He genuinely cares about what they end up with at the end of whatever he has presented to them, which is the antithesis of what I discovered when I was at university. They didn't give a flying shit. It was, okay, come in, put your laptop down, start typing, recording everything I'm saying here, piss off, read the books, and then I won't be contactable whatsoever. They're douchebags, uni professors, Marxist, pretentious wankers, and I found no value in it whatsoever. Wow. Someone who does find value in what I'm doing, though, appears to be Adam Rabil, who has just gifted 10 Will of the Fans membership. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. You lucky people. Yes. Thank you very much, Adam Rabil. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so university did nothing for me. I found myself feeling extremely jaded both times. Didn't feel like I was learning anything. Didn't feel like I was being taught anything. And so yeah, at the end of it, hey Sonia, how you doing? And shout out to my buddy who is in America at the moment, but has the address of a bar in Cebu City, Philippines as his name. That's actually one of my IRL pals. Yeah, so yeah, I found that university did nothing for me, and yeah, it was a miserable time. So I left twice. Don't know why I even tried to go back, but there you go. And the result was, I mean, just while we're on the subject, fuck it. I mean, I went to college and I learned to do video production, filmmaking. I learned digital editing, nonlinear editing, and I left that course with a triple distinction because I was utterly into it completely. I spent every day of the summer holidays in college working on the Macs, and I loved what I was doing. And when we got to university, they gave us like an exercise to make a short 5-minute thing of showing different types of shots, like close-ups, bust shots, mid shots, you know, over the shoulder reaction shots, that kind of thing, shot, counter shot, just as a technical exercise. About 5 of us had all come from the same course at the other college. We were like, what the hell is this? This is like baby stuff. It's like going to high school and being taught your ABCs. It was kind of cringe, you know? So we thought, okay, right, we'll do the exercise technically, but we'll also throw on some music, some color grading, some high quality editing, and actually tell a story with it and put some credits on it so that they can see what level we're actually at. So that maybe they can adjust the course to suit people who have obviously vastly more practical experience than the people who'd come from a pure theory background. And what happened? We got punished. We didn't get a good grade. I think we got a fail, actually, or a low grade because we didn't follow instructions. And that was pretty much the moment when me and my friend had both checked out. We were just like, fuck this. I mean, my friend ended up with depression, and I just ended up going and partying and not giving a fuck anymore. So there was that. That's university. That's what it does. Takes talented people who have passion and skill and dissuades them from excelling in favor of dragging everybody into the middle and then teaching them nothing but Marxist theory. So screw all of that. With that mentality in mind, I can absolutely see how university in my country would have created somebody like Alyssa McCante. And there you go. But apparently, despite the war she's been waging on, yes, Starmer does suck. Labour's always sucked. It was Tony Blair's government that started all this cosmopolitan globalist crap in the UK. And yeah, that's where that came from. And the Tories ever since have done nothing but make it even worse. So it's a unit party. Don't be like the UK, America. Somehow the UK overtook America on the road to Marxist globalist oblivion. Don't copy us, get Trump back in and do something about it. And the only way the UK will fix its problems at this point is to reject both the major parties and pretty much just get Nigel Farage or someone like that in, because it basically wants to do the same thing as Donald Trump. But there you go. Yeah, so she has obviously been very angry with YouTubers for several months because she can't handle the fact that she's been to university, she's got a degree in journalism, presumably, or something or other. She sees a whole bunch of people who have just picked up cameras and turned on microphones from spare rooms in their house or basements or wherever and are making good money and possibly, probably, in Hypno's case, I know, and a couple of others as well, far more money than she could ever dream of making. And having good times, having fun, got personality, resonating with an audience. People like to listen to you. People like to talk to you. People like to engage with you. You get super chats. You get memberships. It's growing. It's all good. And this just isn't happening for people like her who subscribed to the sort of prescribed route through your career that is ultimately just resulting in a disconnection from regular folks as they pump more and more political messaging into it. People like us can sit down and say effectively anything we want. And this is why they absolutely despise us. And she can't hack it at all. So there you go. She has a degree in cam whoring. Yeah, you're right. You're right there, John. I actually couldn't possibly say anything like that officially, but hey, for all I know, maybe she does. Anyway, yeah, so it's pure jealousy. It's pure freaking jealousy because counterculture is now on the opposite side. When she was at university as well, she would have been able to be convinced that the left are the underdogs, which they haven't been since the 90s, I suppose. And in fact, what you see now from like the punk bands of old and stuff is that they're just part of the machine. They rage for the machine. And their selling of their souls to the machine hasn't netted them a fucking bean. What does she have for selling her soul, going to university, becoming a leftist, sucking up to the governments and the Democrat Party and all of this crap? What does she have? Literally fucking nothing. She lives in New York. She presumably can barely afford that based on the average salary that a Kotaku journalist would get. She's probably not got the best life. She's miserable. I don't know what happened to her that turned her into such a hoe bag, but that certainly ain't good for your soul or your mind either. So she's obviously a miserable, miserable person. She's feminist, which everyone hates, because that's the thing. It's also just bad timing, Alyssa. You happen to have become part of the machine at one of the most successful attempts in recent memory of mass groups of people raging against the machine. And everything that you've been taught, every political lesson that you've absorbed, every deal you've made with yourself that you can get money and success by going down this path has backfired completely. And now you have to watch a bunch of chards, i.e. people who genuinely live what they're talking about, flipping on cameras with affordable hardware and software and wildly outperforming you because we are just telling the truth. You tell the party line and you fail. We go independent and say what the hell we want, what we really feel, and we succeed in various degrees. And yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I should take a page out of Hypno's book there and say, like the stream. Thanks. But yeah, so she's got absolutely nothing for all of the ways that she is sold out. And this obviously manifests itself as this petulant rage when gamers began to rally around Cabrutus and Sweet Baby Ink Detected. She saw that as, oh fuck, Gamergate is coming back. Gamergate represented to them again gamers taking control of their destiny, gamers saying what they really think on mass, excuse me. That was because I was reading Zelosi's chat there. She looks like a dried up husk. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she doesn't look like a happy person. You can see it in the eyes. She is, you know, smiling, but if you were to cover that smile up, you'd see miserably sad eyes. In fact, yes, you do. If you put your hand over the screen, over where her mouth is, you'll see that she actually looks sad. Not at all happy. With her ridiculous t-shirt she's had printed about herself, and you ask if she's a narcissist. But yeah, again, when Gamergate 2 started, it represents true earnest rebellion. And the last time that happened, it scared the fucking journalists so much that they had to use all the dirty tricks in the book, smearing it as harassment rather than customer revolt, which is actually what it is. That's what it says on Wikipedia, even though it's not what it was. It's just a bunch of people rebelling against journalism that hates them. The internet gave more people a voice, and the journo rats discovered that most people disagree with them and their elitist left-wing ways. So they hate us, and that is all there is to it. The problem is, it cannot be stopped forever. It can only be held back. And the only way that they could do that previously was to insult and, denigrate gamers, which unfortunately doesn't work out in the long term because you are shitting on your own customers, which is obviously completely counterintuitive to this concept of basic market forces, supply and demand. If they demand it, you supply it. You don't smack them with a stick and say, no, bad, you're not allowed to want that. It's imbecilic. And so I do kind of in some ways feel sorry for her. I know everyone just says, Alyssa, she a hoe, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, she is. But that doesn't mean that, like, she probably wasn't a nice kid like everybody else. She's just grown up and found that her decisions have completely and utterly stacked in everyone else's favor but hers. And she wants to cry impotently about it on the internet. And yet at the same time, the feminism that she's been brainwashed into makes her feel like if she's not flexing like a dude every single second of the live long day, she actually hasn't got any success in her life whatsoever. So she's got to own the charts. Problem is, to borrow from those leftists that were Acolyte fans, there's way more of us. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of us, and just about 100 or so journalists. Can't possibly win. The internet has given everybody a voice, and evidently everybody has chosen to use that voice to bitch about the games industry, the movie industry, and the various ways that we're all being fucked by it. And we don't want to put up with it anymore. We don't have to put up with it anymore, because at the same time, YouTube and current technology has replaced these people. We can be just as happy watching each other on our YouTube channels as we ever were watching movies and TV shows or playing certain video games. As I've said before, I'm quite ready to let this industry go if I have to. I have a backlog as long as the rest of my life is likely to be, with the amount of time I actually have that's free. So there you go. Too many people come out. We all independently ended up agreeing with each other. This is the thing. The great big mistake that they've made is assuming that we're some organized whisper network. Like, they do this stuff. We've uncovered all of this over the last few years. There were whisper networks in Hollywood, in the games industry. There are whisper networks. They all sit talking and judging and blah, 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 blah. We don't do that. We all met because we all felt the same way. And we started these channels. I didn't know Hypnotic when I started Will of the Fans. Yeah, of course not, or Smash JT, or even Ryan, or any of these people. Not a single one. I just made a channel, made the branding, flipped on the camera and started talking, and before long started to make friends with other people who were doing the same thing because we aligned. And it seems the people have aligned. Yes, Mike, yeah, exactly, organically. And that's the key. You can't stop something that happened organically. This is why it's hilarious when Alyssa Mercante tries to say that the world is diverse naturally, organically, because yes, it is, but not in the way that DEI does it. That's why we see through it. The world moves at a certain rate in certain directions. It always has. You build up the sense of it as you grow from a child into an adult. When suddenly the world starts moving in a radically different direction and it's everywhere at the same time, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to call bullshit. You can see someone's manipulating this trash. And there you go. Chaos Forever for 2. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Says, hail, Bigot Army. Like and subscribe. Yeah, please. Yeah. Bigot Army, welcome to the Grift Force. These are overlapping concepts. So, yes, more than welcome to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. But there you go. And that's the way it absolutely is. Yeah. Serpentine Deity here actually points out, imagine being in your 30s and still thinking your opinion is absolute. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this girl is apparently 34 years old. So she's 5 years younger than me. When I was 34, I questioned everything. When I was 24, I thought I knew it all. Yeah. I really did. I thought I was the shit. I thought I was going to have a great life. Everything was going to be beautiful, wonderful. I had no issues. I'm so good. I'm so smart. I've grown up, blah, 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 blah. Then life kicked me in the balls a few times. A few times overall. Excuse me there. Just a second. I'm just going to have a quick swig of water as I'm just talking nonstop. That's better. Yeah, so honestly, I can understand why she's ended up with this kind of impotent rage. The problem is you got to get out of that. You got to get out of that habit. You got to grow past that shit. You know, you are 34 years old, woman. Time is ticking. You can't go through life hating men. And when you hit 40, if you haven't had a kid yet, you are gonna be panicking. You got about 6 years left where it's gonna be relatively easy. And then after that, 5 or so years where it's gonna be very difficult. If you ain't had a kid, you are probably going to feel worse about yourself. I hate to say that because, of course, there are plenty of women out there who can't. And to them, I will always have massive sympathy. Having just had a kid myself, it's the greatest joy in the world, even as a man. But I don't think she wants kids now. I think you're right. And ultimately, she probably won't end up doing it because something has warped her. It's not just the fact that she is radicalized by the left into being anti-family, anti-men and all that stuff. It's something else. Something has made her very, very bitter, like more bitter than most. We don't have hundreds of Alyssa Mercantes running around. If we did, it would be much harder to focus on one of them. But she's so deranged. She's so angry, so bitter. She is basically the embodiment of the meme of the NPC with the mask on that's smiling, but behind the mask is just this coping, seething face. And yeah, actually, you know what? For those of you from the bigger army who were displaced from Hypnocast earlier on,
you are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard, coping and seething.
It's actually a little known fact that I was the one who brought that to this group in the first place. Not that I care. It's always good when people share everything. It's hilarious. But yeah, so we are looking at a situation here where this woman is almost irredeemably angry. She is raging against the entire world. She can't handle the fact that her professional choices have failed her. She can't handle the fact that people who don't necessarily have the same education background but have potentially more talent and can go grassroots and still succeed are doing better than her. She hates men because she's been brainwashed into feminism. She hates gamers because she thinks that everyone should just shut up and take what the government gives. And that's right. Yeah. And she's and then there's a missing ingredient somewhere that I guess we'll never know, but something or someone really hurt her at some point, I think. So that's why she's so bitter and vengeful and angry and just absolutely hates us, because she's next level. We've got plenty of little idiots on Twitter who absolutely hate us because they're not ready to let go of Big Daddy government and Big Daddy game industry. But Alyssa, she is another kind of creature entirely. It has been 7 months since the first time we heard her name, maybe longer, and she is still going. She is still active, still insulting everybody and still threatening everybody. She has just gone over the top when it comes to Smash JT. She has got a serious bee in her bonnet about him. I don't know if he looks like the guy who never called her back or something, but for whatever reason, she picked probably the nicest guy in the whole of this group and decided that he was the target. Maybe she mistook kindness for weakness, which is something you should never do. Ever do that. You'll always regret it. But there you go. How dare he be white and have a family? Exactly. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, as I pointed out, she conducts herself in every way as someone we know and the kinder of us would probably like to take her aside and say, you know, darling, this is not going to end well for you. You are going to end up a miserable, lonely spinster if you're lucky. And that's if you don't end up getting punched in the face by somebody at some point. And she just doesn't seem to comprehend it. She cannot see past the victimhood that she perceives for herself. If I was a lawyer and not that utter fake charlatan, phony guy, whatever his name is, I can't remember his name, I would have said to her, what are you fucking doing? Like, as your lawyer, I got to recommend to you, shut the fuck up. Get off the internet. Get out of the games industry. Go and do something you actually like. Because I can't comprehend these journalists either. I don't see how they could possibly like games and yet hate everything about the culture. This happened organically too. This culture of, you know, ripping on each other, talking smack, you know, gamer words and all that. This stuff all happened organically too, from people sitting around for years and years as kids and teenagers, etc., 4-player Mario Kart parties on a Saturday night, that kind of thing, playing for hours, talking smack about each other, threatening to do horrible, you know, hideous, disgusting things to each other's mums or something if they beat you. This happened and then just ended up on the internet, and it turned out that it was, again, everybody having the same experience. So you would go on a Call of Duty lobby or a Halo lobby, say, hey everybody, how you doing, and get told, you know, go KY, you F, you N-word, you everything, you know. I can't say it on YouTube, but that's what you'd get told. And it was hilarious because we would then go, I didn't realize you were such a massive fig yourself. Why don't you go KY, N-word, F-word, you know? And then bang, before you knew it, we all realized what the internet was. It was a great place to talk smack, vent your frustrations, shoot each other, race each other, beat each other up. And as long as everybody understands that that ends when you take off the headset, then there's nothing wrong with it. But these sad little snowflakes, they want that to be taken away. They want that to be censored and policed, and they want to live in a world where no one can say anything nasty to each other. No one can even jokingly say anything nasty to each other, and no one ever gets their feelings hurt. Well, that sounds fucking boring. Fucking boring. And thank you very much. Yes, fight me verbally. Nice name. Don't forget the teabagging, of course. Teabagging. Yeah, I remember like the first time that ever happened. I think I was playing, I remember it was Halo. I know I never played Halo on that early. It would have been, I don't know. Don't know why it was. It's one of those kind of games. Maybe it was Halo. My friend had an Xbox. And yeah, I remember being like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And the guy's like, he's teabagging you, bro. I was like, what do you mean he's teabagging me? He's like, you're sticking his balls in your mouth. I'm like, what? That's disgusting. Motherfucker. And then I, of course, chased him for the rest of the game and killed him as many times as I could. And then teabagged him. Alyssa M sucks for $5 dues. And thank you very much for that. Say, Alyssa M sucks says, I heard my name 3 times, so I'm here to spread some crabs and love. P.S. Don't I look hot? Dribble. Not exactly. Not exactly. No. Maybe if I was like 19 and drunk. But no. You basically just don't go for girls who have tattoos. Except in the Philippines. Every girl has a tattoo in the Philippines. It's just part of the culture. Except my wife, actually. She doesn't have any. So there you go. You don't need to settle for that even in the Philippines. She couldn't make money getting naked. Well, yeah, there's that too, says Charlatan Parody Man. Like that. Yeah, I can't obviously show any of the pictures that she's uploaded to Twitter, to the internet over the last few years, months, whatever. But, well, you know, she doesn't have much going on up top, and I'm not really into gym ass. Not my thing. I don't need to see it all the time either. And there is, of course, another element of this which I haven't mentioned, which is, of course, that feminism teaches young women to disregard all of nature's and human history's cultural, what's the word I'm looking for? Denotations of femininity. Ideally, be demure, carry yourself politely. If a man wants to help you with something, it's because he thinks you're nice. It's not because he wants to step on your neck, that kind of stuff. But no, feminism has taught her to devalue her own femininity to the point where she's like, hey, this is my ass. Does anybody else want to see my ass? It's like, no, put your fucking ass away, Alyssa. All right. For Christ's sakes, if the more you show someone this stuff, the less valuable it is. It's quite simple, really. When did women stop playing hard to get? You want to get a husband, you play hard to get. Do you know how my wife managed to convince me? Well, I mean, I was interested anyway, but she made it very clear that I wasn't good enough for her from the start. She challenged me. She tested me. She wouldn't put up with me going, hey, I'm going out to the bar until 3 a.m. No. You can't do that and keep her around. She was like, what the hell kind of life is this? I don't want this. I'm going off. Bye. And I was like, no, wait. Come back. Okay. And then, over a period of years, you grow together and you affect your behavior. But man, she made herself the prize. I had to work hard, improve myself, work on my behavior, my goals, my ambitions, my willingness to put myself into uncomfortable situations sometimes to get the greater good. And little by little, I won her over, and now we're married. And we have a little girl who you guys are buying nappies for, diapers. Thank you very much. So there you go. And honestly, we've all been there. We've all been young. We've all been kind of left leaning, I guess, at some point. Most people have. I was always quite centrist. My parents were conservative, but my friends were all leftist. So I had some thoughts on either side, and I actually still do, in terms of traditional libertarianism, really, more than anything. But yeah, I mean, you have to develop a version of yourself that is going to succeed, whereas these people get taught that they're perfect straight away, and that they have, and that the women can be more valuable, or not more valuable, because that's not what they're preoccupied with, more autonomously happy by whoring around and trying to act like men. But the reality is, men, all ultimately a good man anyway, no matter how much of a man slag he is when he's younger, because I was. Damn right I was. Ultimately, what we're all looking for is a wife. That is the plan for any good man. Is going to be, I'd like one of these girls to wow me so much that I cannot get rid of her from my mind. I cannot stop thinking about her. I need to spend the rest of my life protecting her. This one is the one I want to protect. And when you do find that, you have everything, every doubt, every fear fades away, because you have a purpose. And men need a purpose. Women need a purpose too, but nature has made that much simpler for women. The purpose is basically to create more people. It's the same for men. It's just experienced differently. If you reject this, you end up like Alyssa McCante. And there's no way around that. If you portray yourself as completely lacking in any femininity, any value for your own body, like, women's bodies are temples. This is something men agree on. She doesn't treat her body like a temple. If she treats it like a temple, it's half knocked down. It's covered in graffiti. You know what I mean? This isn't what you do to attract a man. And regardless of what she might say, chicks want men. They want men. They want a good man to come along who's strong and loves them and wants to protect them. And when they get it, they suddenly realize they actually weren't achieving anything before that by trying to be a feminist who just lives for themselves and whores around. It doesn't work. It Doesn't work at all. And this is why, by and large, women who are mostly left leaning when they're younger end up conservative or will follow politically their husbands, because it's really more of an area of interest for men to interact with the world, with things, with systems, and interpret them and improve them where possible, to the end of making a better world for women and children. Which is why women tend to take the lead. Sabotage is pretty mature. Thank you. Most of this stuff I've only really kind of discovered in the last 5, 6, 7 years, more or less since coming to the Philippines. I didn't know jack when I got to the Philippines. That's why I came to the Philippines. I was just looking for something. What I realized is actually the world will make sense if you go with what you're supposed to be doing. So there you go. Yeah, and these wokies think we're only negativity. Yeah, that pisses me off. That does piss me off, quite frankly, when we get called these names, these dehumanizing terms, even though they're not, inherently offensive words, but things like chard and grifter and all the other words like that, troll, they're only there to dehumanize us so that they can argue with us, because they can't actually argue with us in earnest, because we're right. What we're arguing for is the way things should be, the way nature has dictated things should be for all creatures of the earth, whether you believe in any kind of traditional god figure or just nature. Ultimately, that's basically it. What's that? Damn Will's big DDoS robot Reynolds. Oh god, am I roboting now? Fuck, I hope not. Don't need me to go down as well after Hypnotic already went down. Anyway, speaking of going down, Alyssa Mercante, if you completely and totally ignore the way that your life is supposed to go, you will end up a tattooed, sad-eyed, misery smiling mess, showing bits of your body because you have no value for them, and only making the problem exponentially worse. And that's why I feel kind of sympathetic in some ways for her. I kind of feel like someone needs to say, listen, love, and just sort of lay down a few home truths, but she wouldn't listen because she's too far gone, which is the reason why, unlike almost everybody else who pops up onto our radar and we make videos about, she cannot let go. She's got it too ingrained in herself, and it's very sad. However, she does seem to have made a slight turning of the corner, although I don't believe for a second that this is actually true or in earnest at all. I think it's utter bollocks. Smash JT says, Alyssa Mercante, the Kotaku senior editor who's been on the receiving end of community backlash from a ridiculous antics, had previously tried to silence her critics like myself through pathetic cease and desist letters. This legal move, which amounted to nothing more than a beyond desperate attempt to quiet her detractors, was an absolute joke from the start. It was clear she didn't have any case at all, and the community rightfully laughed it off. Still, for a while, she continued to posture, making it seem like she was going to take serious action, but then she tweeted this. You keep making those videos. Yeah, exactly. Andy C knows that is a fake smile. You keep making those videos, she says. Do we believe her, team? Of course not. Utter bollocks. I think she's saying this not sarcastically, but in a tone like a veiled malevolence. Like she's sort of almost saying, you go ahead. Yes, it's a threat. Exactly. You go ahead. Keep making those videos. Don't mind me. I'm over here being all angelic. And then bam, here I come with a lawsuit. Except she has no case for a lawsuit. And even worse than this exact tweet right here will undermine any future legal attempt that she might make. Because whether or not she has meant this or is saying it as a veiled threat, well, either of those two things will completely destroy her case. Not that she had a case in the first place. But basically, yeah, it is a bit like that where someone's wife says, do whatever you want. Yeah. It's like, hey, darling, I'm thinking I might go out for a few beers tonight with the boys. And then you're either going to get one of two responses. One of them is, okay, dear, what time do you think you'll be back? Don't be too late, please. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Good wife. The other one is, do whatever you want. And it's like, you sure about that? Yes, go ahead. Do whatever you want. Doesn't sound like you really mean it. No, you go have fun. And then, of course, woe betide any man naive enough to actually do that. You just don't do that. You wouldn't go, okay, bye. Because then you are seriously staring down the business end of a hissy fit. You don't want that. What's worse, arse or face? Alyssa's arse or face? I guess face. I guess. An arse is an arse at the end of the day. I have nipples, Alyssa, sue me. Oh my god. So does she. Yeah. That's about all she has up there, though. Anyway, she don't want pink eye. You keep making those videos, she says, which of course is a veiled threat. It's effectively trying to say, keep making those videos, keep going, YouTuber chuds, keep making those videos. It's either reverse psychology or she is genuinely expecting that she's going to be able to use that to make a lawsuit. Unfortunately, two scenarios play out when you get there now. First of all, obviously, anti-slap notwithstanding, if somehow she were to avoid getting the slap of the anti-slap laws that exist purely to stop people who try to use lawfare to prevent freedom of speech, if it actually got to the point where you were going through the evidence, you're either going to get to say, but she said keep making videos. Hey, look at this. That's what she said. She said keep making those videos. Maybe it's a peace offering. In which case, no deal. You have no case. You've encouraged them to keep going. The other alternative is, well, she's obviously threatening us. And in which case, she's not quite the victim that she portrays herself as. Of course, there'd be about 100 pieces of evidence before that to expose her as not at all a victim. But there you go. Yeah, she Jesus Christ, she's such an idiot. I don't believe that she would, like, her lawyer would have agreed with her to do this. Like, again, if I was her lawyer, I would have said, what the fuck are you thinking? Get rid of that right now. How the hell do you expect to sue anybody if you keep encouraging them to do things? Uh-oh. Did you guys hear that? Or was the noise cancelling working? Someone's outside blasting their fucking horn. Idiots. Oh, well. Anyway, but now it looks like she's come to her senses. Well, there you go. Exactly, Smash JT. It looks like she's come to her senses. Yeah, Filipinos are extremely happy on the horn. It's pretty much just how to say hello in the Philippines. Yeah, so it looks like she's come to her senses, but there's no way she's come to her senses. There is just no way. I don't believe for a second that this woman is capable of coming to her senses anymore, or at least given up on pretending she has any real power over the situation. Now there you go, Smash JT with an actual flex for once. Correct, she has no power. She has no right to stop us. She's a fucking lol cow. That is what she is now. She's no longer even taken seriously as a professional journalist. She's not taken seriously as a sensible, sentient, adult human woman. She is considered by everybody who's spent more than 5 minutes looking into her to be nothing but a great big seeping, suppurating lol cow, constantly dripping that YouTube milk. That's disgusting. Sorry, that's disgusting, but that's what she is. She just cannot stop making cringe ass reactions to things, cringe ass attempts to threaten people. It's so frustrating to actually recognize that this person genuinely seems to think that she is in the right To what end is she doing this? It's what? To remove people's ability to earn money. It's to remove people's rights. It's to ultimately make the world a net more negative place. How can she not see this? To censor and suppress is not conducive to a better world, ever. It doesn't matter if you think that the person is just someone who non-stop constantly spouts the worst kind of shit that you possibly can. They have the right to do that. Do not set dangerous precedents. It's really dangerous to do stuff like that. Really dangerous. It's bad enough having to dance around the YouTube algorithm and try to say things in a way that doesn't get your channel suppressed or demonetized. I'm not very good at it. That's why my channel is suppressed. But you know, she genuinely seems to think that suppression of people and their rights to talk. Oh my god, there's that fucker with his horn again. Shut the hell up, you retard. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go downstairs in a second and I'm going to tell this guy if he doesn't shut the hell up, I'm going to slash his tires. Anyway, there you go. I talk about not suppressing people. Hypocrite. Yeah, no, she genuinely seems to think that the world would be a better place with less people able to talk in it. Absolute muppet. Anyway, it's driving me crazy, guys. These people honking outside. Anyway, in her latest tweet, you keep making these videos. Mercante has handed everyone the green light to continue holding her accountable for her behavior, which is, in fact, all we've ever done. I mean, if she hadn't done anything, I would never have heard of her. Hypno would never have heard of her. Smash JT, Ryan, Leon, none of us would have ever heard. Atreus, none of us would have heard of her. She started it. She wrote this defensive article of SBI, which I suppose was fair enough to do that. It's bollocks, but that's what she did. But it was when she decided to invade the Discord and start asking people why they're not using their real names. And would anybody like to be in a Kotaku article? What's that? YouTube required me to restore the tab. To restore the tab. For a second there, I thought they got him. I said I'm going to slash his tires. The Philippine government bursts in the ceiling, cuts my Ethernet cable. Yeah, if she'd done nothing, if she had just literally been a journalist who had a bad take and tried to defend a very indefensible company, that would have been one thing. But the fact that she then went ahead and started trying to dox people and started, because we all know what would have happened. If anybody had been dumb enough in that SBI detected Discord to go, yeah, sure, I'll do an interview with you, what would have happened? It would have been, haha, here's a chud. Let me write all of his opinions and then frame them as extremely evil, toxic, and malevolent. It actually would have been really bad because it would have been the same old Gamergate 1 strategy. But no. Instead, she was, you know, she exposed herself as an absolute fraud, as a malevolent figure. And then she spent the next 6 months just constantly reeing and screeching and whining and blocking and sending a reply guys after people and cheering on as Smash JT's website got taken down and then reinstated. And of course, contacting his wife. I think that was probably the moment that we all realized that this woman was totally unhinged. Now, I know that's a really popular term to use on YouTube these days, like, oh, she's fucking unhinged. Yeah, it is. It's a very popular term. It's overused. It's used for people who are just doing marginally stupid things. She is unhinged. Okay, she is acting in the most erratic, strange ways like that is possible to react to. Everybody knows that in the law, it's the unspoken rules of the internet. No doxing, no, you know, getting too personal, and no involving the people you love. You just don't fucking do that. Yeah, Ratty Ass Gaming Chair. I've been looking at that for a few minutes. Yeah. You don't DM somebody's wife. I mean, fortunately, Smash JT's wife is, you know, obviously an intelligent, discerning woman who can tell that Alyssa McCante is an unhinged lunatic ratbag feminist hoe. And so, yeah, but if McCante had the sense to accuse him of a couple of other random things that she might have been able to think of, well, that could have caused some serious issues. But no, she just said, you need to know your husband's an awful sexist. He keeps attacking women on the internet. What an awful man. And then, of course, she's going to go, you know, fortunately, when he asked her about it, she sort of laughed and said, yeah, some crazy woman, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But that's the thing, isn't it? Women have a knack for identifying their own unhinged members better than anyone. You're right, yeah. Particularly women who have already got married and had kids. Again, something just happens to the brain when you enter into a committed familial, you know, relationship with someone and start a family. I think your priorities change. It's got to be the fact that once you have a kid, you realize very quickly that you are not the main character in your own life anymore. You know, you are supporting cast. And that's fine. It's just that someone like Alyssa McCante has the worst case of main character syndrome I've ever seen. We all go through phases of having that when we're younger. But at a certain point, you realize the world is bigger than you are, and there are bigger things at play. And when you have a kid, like Princess of the Fans, yes, TJAB Steve, thank you. Then, you know, you have other things to prioritize. You've got to just fucking make sure that you succeed at all costs, or someone else that you love will suffer. Don't have time to sit around thinking about how things affect you. You got to get out and affect them. Alyssa has not learned this lesson yet, and likely never will if she continues down this path, because she won't end up having kids or being loved or respected. And it's a terrible, terrible shame. So there you go. However, she's either trying to fake complicitness in our grift, or she is threatening us. Unsurprisingly, Twitter was quick to jump on McCante's tweet, turning it into a meme in record time. Reactions flooded in with users mocking her sudden shift in tone. After months of trying to control the narrative, her tweet felt like a public confession that she no longer has any kind of upper hand. Memes with captions like, when you can't win, join them, and gifs of white flags waving were shared left and right, making her the punchline of the day. How many more times is this woman going to be a punchline? Until she just shuts up. Do we have a metric when a bonus hole turns into a clown car? Ugh. Oh my god, there's that fucker with his horn again. Oh well, we'll just have to put up with it. If I end the stream before he's gone, I'm going out there and giving him a piece of my mind. Anyway, what else? For the community that she's been calling trolls and chuds. Now again, we were talking about this on WTF Live last night. Trolls, chuds, all those kinds of words, grifter, la 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 la. If you watched WTF Live, you'll know that we were reading the article that was written by Zarmina Khan, which was, you know, in defense of Ghost of Yote. In that article, it's only about 3 or 4 paragraphs, and she refers to us maybe 20 times. Okay, maybe less than that, but get in there. At no point does she ever refer to us as people or gamers or fans. She calls us trolls, chuds, and grifters. At one point, she literally says a quote, something, unquote, quote, unquote, said one grifter. This is supposed to be a journalist. You're not allowed to attack people like that. People you don't even know. Generalized, sweeping attacks of groups of people. You can't do that and be considered an impartial, fair journalist. And that's where they're at now. Like cornered rats. They've got nothing to do but spit, bile, and attempt to bite back against the impossible tide of honest, dare I say, reality-based gamers, fans, customers, people. So they have to use these dehumanizing terms. It's not so different from the 1930s in Germany. The tweet feels like sweet, sweet vindication, says Smash JT. The very videos and commentary she once tried to silence are now ironically happening with her implicit, very key word there, approval. It's a clear acknowledgement that no amount of cease and desist letters or Twitter rants were ever going to stop people from discussing her behavior and inconsistencies as much as she tried. Well, I mean, I hope you're right here, Smash JT, but I got a feeling that this isn't as simple as that. I think she's genuinely just trying to set people up so that she can, perhaps she thinks that by being a little complicit, we'll actually get worse. Like we'll be meaner than ever to her or something. And she may finally have some evidence that she can use to take one of us down. Of course not. That didn't work when she called the internet out for a fight. When she called people out for a fight, she was clearly hoping that one of us was going to turn around and go, okay, bitch, I'll beat the shit out of you. You know, hopefully a male. So that she could call us a bunch of sexists and misogynists, because out of context, a quote like that would be more or less indicative of those things. But no one did. No one did. None of us did. We laughed at her. The only people who did call her out were women, which was beautiful. Very proud of VERIZON for what she did there. She didn't expect that. Because again, she is an elitist uni student bitch who thinks that her piece of paper saying she's read some books makes her more intelligent than us. I have a 139 IQ. Or at least I did 5 years ago, the last time I took an intelligence test. I don't think Alyssa's anywhere near that. She's not an intelligent person. She's a failing bimbo. She tried to do the intellectual thing. It hasn't worked. She's not unintelligent, but she's not good at applying whatever intelligence she does have. She's not good at actually utilizing and accessing it and using it in a constructive way. And so every time she tries to play some little gotcha, it's like Wile E. Coyote. It is embarrassing. That is exactly what she is. She's the Wile E. Coyote of the video game industry. I'm so glad I did this stream. I am going to use that in the video I make later about this. That is what she is. She's Wile E. Coyote. And we're the Roadrunners. She keeps trying to lay these elaborate traps so she can gotcha us. And every last one of them ends up blowing in her face. Blowing up in her face. I didn't mean like that. Freudian slip, perhaps. Or she ends up, you know, falling off a cliff. But she really is just experiencing life as Wile E. Coyote over and over and over again. With an Acme fake lawyer trap. Yes, exactly. So there you go. Unsurprisingly, Twitter was quick to jump blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I read that bit already. La, 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 la. Where am I? It's a clear amount of blah, 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 along with overdue reality check. Well, let's see then, shall we? With our Acme Twitter kit. Exactly. There you go. Nice emoji. You guys all have them too. I can see. You guys got the memberships. Well done. Except for DiCello80. Oh, hail. How you doing? Somebody's going to have to green him up. This is a win, not just for those who have been calling her out, but for everyone who values free speech and the right to criticize public figures, especially when those figures spend their careers lecturing and antagonizing the very communities they write for. Yeah, it is. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, whether or not she means it, whether or not she's actually said any of this crap in earnest, it's still a win because she's undermined herself. Or at least she appears to have. So she's pretty screwed now. I mean, anytime in future that she wants to criticize us for making videos about her, all we have to do is go, Exhibit A. You said we could do it. And then if she turns around and says, well, I didn't mean that, I was just trying to trick you, or something ridiculous like that, then we'll say, well, then we can't trust anything you say. How can we trust anything you say? Oops. Congratulations to Carl Guts and Chaos Forever. Thank you very much for gifting 1 membership. For the community that she has been calling trolls and chuzzers, blah, 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 sweet vindication. There we go. I'm just reading this in random order. I'm usually more organized than this when I make videos. That's why I have highlights. Okay. And yes, that's a good point as well from Woozy Polar Bear. Her permission is not needed. We can make whatever the hell we want, as long as we don't void terms of service, which we're very good at not doing, because we all know that YouTube is incredibly strict on certain things, but they're also incredibly lax on pushing right up against that barrier, leaning on it a little, and then, you know, they don't mind that. That's why I can get around saying certain words by just saying similar sounding words. If YouTube had a problem with subjects, then we'd all be in trouble. But then that would be literal suppression, literal censorship. Hit the like button, you chud racist gamer loser, says Charlatan Parody Man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are we sure everyone knows I mean you stream with Ryan regularly of your own free will? Well, yeah, Ryan's toned it down a bit lately, though. I think he's had his face turned, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, so if we want to criticize public figures, that's up to us. Okay, if we want to criticize politicians, that's up to us. If we want to criticize anybody, if we want to sit and talk about some guy who's pissed, like if I want to criticize the guy outside with his horn blaring, I can. He doesn't know, but if he found out, I'm sure he'd be embarrassed. But Alyssa McCante just can't take it, because again, her baseline that she exists in, the plane of reality where she exists, is based on some erroneous logic that she has been taught. Not the kind of logic that comes from life experience or critical thinking, the kind that comes from somebody telling you this is how you must think and you believing them. She has a baseline of I'm a pseudo intellectual, which makes her arrogant as a lion. And she also thinks that she's her like I said, she thinks her degree makes her better than other people. She thinks that being a feminist and a slag makes her better than other women. She thinks that being a childless cat lady or dog lady or whatever the fuck she is makes her better than other women. So unfortunately, there is very little you can do to fix that kind of behavior in people. Really the only way that people like that ever turn around to face reality is when they get beaten down by life. You need, like I said, when I was younger, like in my 20s, whatever, I thought, oh, I'm smart, I know loads of stuff, I'm educated, you know, I wasn't even bad looking as well, so you know, I thought, yeah, I'm doing all right, which is probably because I wasn't that confident as a kid, so I became overconfident as a young adult, which resulted in life slapping me around a fair bit, quite a bit, until eventually you kind of realize how you are going to fit into the world for the rest of your life, and how you're going to do so in a way that doesn't result in making you public enemy number one. Alyssa has not learned this very valuable lesson, and at 34 years old, she probably should have by now. 1 second. I'm going to have to fucking end this in the next sort of 10-15 minutes because I'm going to lose my voice otherwise, and I've still got videos I need to record, but let's get through this anyway. Yeah, so this is the thing that I was talking about yesterday on WTF Live and such. In fact, I've got a video about it as well. Alexa Ray Correa, apparently, who, oh dear, we couldn't work out what this person is. I don't know. Let's have a look. because the picture that you can see there, unfortunately, is a rather disturbing one. What do we think? Fugly ass woman or dude? You tell me. Tough call. Tough call. Let's see. What do we think, chat? Ugly woman or dude? I'll wait. Man face. Yeah. This is the sort of thing I'm thinking. I couldn't, like, in most pictures, I was thinking, this is a bloke. This is a man. Look at that nose. That's a man. And then there's like some other slightly more confusing pictures that look a little photoshopped. Where with great big huge ass titties, and I was like, oh dear. So yeah, difficult call, but yeah, I'm thinking dude, especially because of the name. The name, it's a typical kind of name that people choose when they decide that they want to be tranoids. No one's actually called Alexa Ray. That's a porn star name. And I don't know if you've noticed this as well. Men who become women, they never just call themselves like Sarah, you know, or Jane, or just regular normal woman names, Lisa, you know, Claire, Louise, these kinds of names, common female names. It's always like Chantel or you know, these kinds of names. It's just, ugh, Alexa Ray. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it's probably Alexander. Anyway, yeah, stripper names, exactly. So there you go. They're always like, I mean, I had a friend whose name was Matt, but he had a nickname. But then I don't want to dox him. But then he became trans and started going by the name Fiona. And I remember thinking, that was the moment I noticed. Yeah, it's always these sort of pseudo glamourish, slightly Hollywood stripper names. And the other thing, of course, is living in Asia, you get a lot of ladyboys. Philippines is no different. The only difference between Philippines and Thailand when it comes to ladyboys is that it's really, really obvious in the Philippines. Like about about 6 to 10 inches taller than women on average. And then there's the other one. Yeah, they're always double-barreled names as well, like Jamie Lynn, Carol Lynn, Amber Lynn. Yeah. Then there's like the walk. Women don't walk like strippers on a catwalk. Okay, they don't. When a woman is walking down the street, yeah, they're a little bit more, you know, floaty than men, but they're just walking normally. Whereas when tranoids walk down the street, they're walking like they're positively thrilled to be women. Women don't walk like that. So it's always really obvious. Really obvious. Women don't walk like they have a penis. Yeah. That was what was coming up in the in Hypnocast, wasn't it? The character from Unknown 9 or Unplayed 9, as I call it. Yeah, she was bowling. Like proper like bowling around like a man. Strange. Walks like an Assassin's Creed character, a male one. Very strange. When it comes to Asia, if they're tall and pretty, it's a dude. I've met 3 or 4 tall and very, 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 very pretty Filipinos who turned out to be 100% female. But yeah, by and large, you are right. Yeah, it's a pretty common thing, I'd say. If in the Philippines anyway, if they are more than 5 foot 5'6", let's say 5'6" or taller than that, it's increasingly likely that they're a woman, increasingly likely that it's a dude. But yeah, it's but then the culture here has always been much better about it because they don't have the agenda quite yet. It is starting to creep in, the whole I'm actually a woman, you should call me, like, take me seriously as a woman kind of thing, that we see with the LGBTQ pride and the movement. They didn't have the movement here. So ladyboys were just considered, there's usually like one ladyboy in every group of female friends because they find them hilarious. The women love them. They think they're funny because they're like, they kind of accept them as women, but they know they're men. They themselves know that they're men. They don't try to get people to lie to them about it, but kind of no one talks about it. But at the same time, they have the balls to do things that women generally don't have the balls to do, especially Catholic women in this country. So yeah, they become kind of famous among their female friends for being a bit more brazen, a bit more ridiculous than the average woman. So they become, you know, famous. And for as far as I can tell, the longest time that was the way it was here. But now, yes, lately I've heard from my wife that there have been a few incidents on social media over here where someone has had a complete spurg out about not being regarded as 100% actually really biologically female. And yeah, if it walks like a dude and quacks like a dude, exactly. But there you go. So this person, or whatever they are, Alexa Ray Correa, to use the true pronunciation, decided to say, oh, I want most gamers are bigots on a t-shirt. The problem with that is that this person is the senior writer of the Marvel's Black Panther game that's coming out. Hey, Eris Rhoda, and bye, Eris Rhoda. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is just an impromptu stream. I made it because Hypnocast got taken down by Verizon incompetence, and I felt like everybody deserved to have that extra hour of fun, although it's actually been a good hour and a half now. Yeah, I'm going to have to wrap this up. So there we go. Another win for Chuds. At the end of the day, that's another victory for us, so so-called Chuds. While Macante has spent months trying to shield herself from valid criticism, we've stood firm in calling out her hypocrisy. And now, by her own admission, she's given the green light for more videos, more content, and more discussions about her behavior. Well, to that end, I've just talked about her for an hour and a half. So I hope she's enjoying that. Her words, "You keep making these videos, will go down in history as the moment Alyssa Macante, the very person who once tried to shut down her critics, conceded defeat." Well, whether that's what she wants it to have meant or not, that is what it will be remembered as. It's a great reminder that in the age of social media, attempts at silencing legitimate criticism only fan the flames, and for those of us who've been calling out the likes of Macante for months, it's a well-deserved win. So in honor of Alyssa's blessing from her own Twitter, I encourage everyone to utilize their freedom of speech. Let's keep making those videos. Let's keep shining a light on the double standards, the posturing, and the attempts to shut down conversations that matter, because at the end of the day, no amount of legal threats or Twitter rants will ever stop us from speaking the truth. Well said, Smash JT. Fuck yes, well said indeed. Very good, very good. And T-Jap Steve, yes, the ladyboy is the one who wolf whistles at some cute guy's ass on behalf of the group. I could tell you some stories, man. I have been objectified by ladyboys before. It's weird. It used to be this street of bars, and if you walk down it at a certain time of night, you would almost certainly encounter what they call a bayut, which is a ladyboy or a gay. And you'd get them standing on a street corner, and they would go, "Hi." You're like, you know, your balls jump up into your body for a second. You go, "Hello," and you walk past them, you know, and they go, "Where are you staying?" And I'd say, "Not with you." And then they'd say, "Why not?" I'd say, "Because you have a dick. Bye-bye." And there you go. Charlatan Parody Man says, "Will of the fans should have more subs. Like, share, and subscribe." Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Yes, do spread the word. This channel is here, and I'm doing the same stuff that I know you like if you've come over from Hypnocast. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm very happy to have a few new faces and names in the chat to go around. Please do feel free to check out any and all of my content and enjoy yourselves with that. I tend to be just as cynical, sardonic, sarcastic, and yet slightly wholesome at the same time in my videos. exactly the same as I do in the live streams, just with a bit more time when I'm live. But yeah, as you can probably hear, my voice is starting to crap out from talking solidly for an hour and a half. And I do have videos to make for you fine people a little later on. So yeah, there are already some videos I made yesterday that I could release, but I need to keep up with my schedule so that I can still have the weekend off. So I'll be making videos today. Let me see what we got. I've got a video prepared, but that's not till tomorrow. I'll be making videos about this topic, about Ubisoft on strike, about Asmongold, and I've also managed to get ChatGPT to write me a full transcript of the leaked Pokemon stories, the creepy men versus human / Pokemon stories. What time do I live stream? Normally 9 a.m. Eastern. That's about the only time I could muster at the moment, because I live in the Philippines, 12 hours ahead. But I'm thinking I might eventually move that to an hour later to try and catch a few more of you folks, if you like. And of course, it's always nice to jump on and do an impromptu thing like this. It's a shame that Hypnocast was taken down. Verizon can suck my nutsack. I'm sure they can suck Hypno's nutsack too, if he indeed has one, being a void being and all that. But I'm going to wrap this one up, and I'll be getting any live during the day. Well, this is the time that Hypnocast is usually on, but I can probably stream a little more from time to time after Hypnocast. We'll see. If this is popular, then I'll try and incorporate it in some way. You can always just let me know. But generally speaking, I stream at the other side of the day. So my normal stream time is Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. That would be the current Eastern time. And then the same again on Sunday, but we are talking about Doctor Who pretty much exclusively. For now anyway, until that show eventually gets cancelled. But for now, that's what we do. And then occasionally I pop up with these random casts just because, why not? So thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go give my voice a good hour of silence now to rest up and make some more videos for you guys. Let me just see here. Got to give a quick shout out to Adam Rabil for 10, Chaos Forever for $2 super chat, Alyssa M Sucks $5 super chat, thank you, and Chaos Forever for gifting 1 membership. Very much appreciated, guys. Do like the stream, subscribe to the channel. You'll like the kind of crap I make over here. I shouldn't call it crap, should I? The kind of excellence that I make over here. I'll be back with another video for you very, very soon. But until then, remember to question everything. Respect the fans. Check out the Discord. There is a link in the description of pretty much every video. You can come and join that. And I will chat to you next time.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
You'll finally get the attention you deserve.
Random task. Show them what you do.